Good evening. I'm Wright Blend, and I'm here to talk about day 5 of Pat King's trial in Ottawa. It's taking place at the Ottawa Courthouse at 161 Elgin, and today the Crown finished their chief examination of their witness, Alison Yareskovich, who is not a police officer. So again, I apologize for reporting her as a police officer, but she's a civilian member of the Ottawa Police Service, and she works as a crime intelligence analyst, and she's now a crime intelligence analyst supervisor. And at the time, during the convoy, her unit in the Ottawa Police Crime Intelligence Analysis had a different unit. I think it was something like Operations Intelligence Analysis, but it did the same thing where they download videos from the internet about crimes or research crimes. I suspect to help, not I allege, I suspect to help police in their investigations. And so that's what she did during the Freedom Convoy. So we'll go into that. So the Crown's chief examination is finished with her. It finished, and the defense began their cross. This witness has been on the stand for a number of days. She's the last witness before her was one of the so-called civilian witnesses from the Tamara and Litch trial. I believe it was Miss Chantel Biro, the owner of the store in the Byward Market, who testified both in the Litch Barber trial and in the Pat King trial about her store in Byward Market and how it was affected by the Freedom Convoy. I don't know how that's any of these people's fault, but their testimony's been heard in the trials. So the Crown, I believe, through their evidence in this witness, Miss Yareskovich, is being used to tender videos to court, to the judge, for his reflection, and he's already said that he's going to watch all the videos, he's going to watch all the transcripts, and the Crown is presenting videos that they have provided the entire video of, but in a lot of cases just pieces of video to paint a picture. And I believe that the picture they're trying to paint is that Pat King was a person who had a lot of influence in the convoy, who was giving directions of some sort, who was up to mischief, and so forward. So they're in the videos that they play, you could see people come up to Pat King, they thank him, they say they watch his videos, and so on. In some videos, you see Pat King himself telling people to honk. In one of the videos I believe we watched today, Pat King says, "I want to hear you honk for 5 minutes." I believe this was a video the Crown showed that Pat recorded just after Chris Barber was arrested. So Pat says something along the lines of, "I want to hear you guys honk for 5 minutes in honor of Chris Barber being arrested for everything he's done, more or less, for the convoy." And he says, "I want to hear you." He goes to the window and he hears honking. So I think the Crown showed that to try and establish that Pat King is this leadership person that people are listening to, and therefore he's responsible for the actions of others. But of course, that's not going to be so easy to do. And at one point, the judge, after the Crown was playing all these videos, said, what are you trying to prove here? What are you saying, and what charges does it go towards?" Because the judge didn't seem to understand how the videos the Crown was playing went to any of the charges filed. So he said more or less that the Crown will have to produce at some point a series of statements saying how the video evidence they tendered goes towards each of the counts, the charges filed. So he wants to understand how the Crown thinks it goes towards each of these things, like the counseling, mischief, obstruction, and so on. So that was a pretty good win for neutrality, and the Crown is going through all these videos, and it's not immediately clear what they're going to. Yes, there are people coming to Pat King on the street and thanking him. Yes, Pat King is saying, "I want to hear some honking," and some people are honking. Does that mean he's responsible for the honking? No. Does that mean because people recognize him as a social media influencer, does that mean he's in command and control of the protest and the protesters? No, it doesn't. And I remember, I think it was also today, another video the Crown showed where Pat King was saying, "I can't leave, whatever, or I won't leave." And the judge had another exchange with the Crown, if I recall correctly. And again, to the Twitter, go to my Twitter if you want the fine details. No, on a side note, not enough people are following the Twitter. There's a lot of effort that goes into this live courtroom reporting. Guys, it means a lot. Go over there, like the posts on X, share them out, get them out there, because this is an important trial that's going to have a huge effect on everybody else who is accused and everybody protesting in Canada going forward. Are you going to be guilty in Canada of protest mischief just for having an influence in the future? This case could well determine that. So people need to pay attention, and it needs to be shared, and we need to focus. I know there's big news right now today, Klaus Schwab stepping down as head of certain WEF, so that's great news, and other good news going around, and people are really excited about all the current things and different things happening. But guys, I know this has been a few years, but it's playing out in the courts, and it's important, and it's going to set precedents, and it's going to make a difference. It's going to impact things. It could become case law. It could become a reference case for how to treat things going forward if you have a certain number of media followers, social media followers, and you show up to a protest and you act a certain way, you could be responsible for everyone's actions at the entire thing. And that's basically where they might be trying to go with this. So it's important to follow, and it has other implications for freedom and rights too. So follow along and share out those posts. Again, so yes, the judge asking lots of questions of everybody today, asked similar questions of the defense. We'll get to that. So asking the Crown, where does this go to? Asking the Crown, how does this, because the Crown in one of the videos, like I was getting to before I went on that aside, on that little rant, the judge was asking the Crown, how did King saying in a video that he wasn't going to leave, how does that show whatever? Because we don't know why he's not going to leave. Could it be X number of reasons? You can't assume those things in a video. And like the judge noted, Mr. King has lots of videos where he talks about lots of different things, and it's not immediately clear what charges it goes towards, and his political opinions are not something the court's particularly interested in. That's not really relevant, and he's entitled to a lot of his political opinions. And a lot of good stuff coming out of the defense cross as well, when they're cross-examining the Miss Sarakovich. Let me just double check because I went on such a rant there. Yeah, Yareskovich, a civilian member of the OPS. Allison Yareskovich, a civilian crime analyst supervisor with the Ottawa Police Service. The defense would ask her on cross because the thing is, like I said, the Crown's using her to tender their videos to bring them into the court, because in a lot of cases she either directly downloaded these videos from Pat King on behalf of the Ottawa Police Service, or she has knowledge of the people who did, and she worked on the teams to try, alongside Ottawa Police detectives and officers, to build a criminal case against Pat King. She spoke to in testimony the first questions the defense had when the Crown rested their chief examination, when they finished their chief examination and went to cross. First questions Miss Calvino had were about basically the defense's knowledge of the videos, how the process went, the cataloging of web pages as PDFs, how did that work, were links included, were videos included, they weren't. If videos were needed, they would have to be downloaded separate to be included in a PDF capture of a website, for example, the Real Pat King Facebook page, and so on. But another thing she spoke at length about and testified at length, Miss Yareskovich, she testified at length about the social media reactions, views, comments, shares. These are things that the Crown took great interest in, and I think it goes to their case of trying to prove influence, and somehow they're trying to tie the social media numbers to Pat King's influence, and therefore control of the protesters for the counseling and other things, I'm assuming. And they could also tie it into the mission. There's a million ways they could go with this, but they're starting to become clear maybe what they might be trying to do. In some ways, how effective they're doing it is questionable with the judge's follow-ups today, so I don't think they're landing home runs here, but they're batting, they're trying. And like I said, they're picking out pieces of videos and not the whole thing, and they're painting a particular picture that maybe doesn't tell the whole story. So Miss Calvino, when she started her cross, she provided pieces of those same videos that showed different stories. We'll get to that. So in asking Miss Yareskovich about her experience, she testified to what date she was assigned which task in her unit. The 8th she did something, the 9th she did something. I think she said that her unit was officially assigned to the Freedom Convoy on February 8th, I believe. I might be off by a day or two there. And then from there forward, before that, they were just doing small tasks here and there to assist different police officers. But as of the 8th, they were assigned on an official capacity to criminally investigate, more or less, to aid the Ottawa Police in their criminal investigation of the Freedom Convoy. So as of that early, they were looking to lay serious charges, and they were mobilizing their crime analysts to help them do it as of the 8th of February or whatever date it was. Again, back to the thread to check for sure. The date's not so important. It was in that neighborhood. So Ms. Calvino testified, I believe, by the 10th or 11th, the 11th of February, she was officially assigned to Pat King. That day, his Facebook page was still down for unknown reasons. Whether he took it down, whether Facebook took it down, the court didn't really hear that, but it was down. And so she happened upon his Instagram page, his Telegram, didn't pay so much attention to the Telegram, did document the Instagram, and then of the 12th and 13th and 14th and 15th and so on, she was dedicated to downloading videos and content from his Facebook page as directed by an Ottawa Police detective, I believe, investigating the Freedom Convoy and Pat King. So she took care of that, and another officer, an actual police officer, or not to belittle, but a police officer looked at videos pre-February 9th, and she was responsible for videos from Pat King after Video 9. So she was his crime intelligence analyst. I don't know if she did other significant work, but it sounded like she did quite a bit of work downloading these Pat King videos, making summaries of them, reports of them, noting social media reactions, views. Again, a big part, the Crown's paying particular attention to that. And it's interesting because in cross-examination, Miss Calvino noted with the witness, and the witness admitted that it's not noted how many, that there are different types of reactions on Facebook. There are likes, there are wows, there are angry faces, there are cares, and so on. And it's not noted, the witness testified in her information, how much of each reaction there were. So we don't know how many people hated the video. We don't know how many people basically gave a negative reaction to it. So that was Miss Calvino's way, I believe, of saying that not everybody was on side. Not everybody commenting on the videos were on side. She testified, the witness, Miss Yareskovich, that she didn't go through the comments to see where people were geographically located. So the witness admitted that they could, to the defense's question, that they could be in Russia or somewhere else. We don't know if they're here in Ottawa or in Canada. She did not personally go through, the witness did not personally go through the comments to see the geography. They didn't see the comments to see if they were in support or not. So forward, exact numbers of how many were in support or against. Same with the reactions. How many angry reactions versus likes, loves, and positive reactions like that. But the witness did testify that in the PDF capture, I believe Exhibit 18 of the Real Pat King Facebook page, there are posts, and in the posts, under each post, there's like, it shows a couple of reactions, and if you click beside that, I believe you could also expand and see more reactions. But the first reaction is the most popular reaction that people use. The second reaction is the second most popular reaction they used, and so on. And the witness, Miss Yareskovich, pointed out that the like reaction, the positive reactions like or love or care reaction are the first, second, and third reaction in most of these posts on this page. So that was the witness's way of saying that there seems to be a positive amount of opinions to her. And Miss Calvino asked the witness, is Pat King a divisive character? And she said, yes, I would say so. And I believe the defense asked, how do you know that? Or the judge actually, I believe, might have asked how you know that. And Miss Yareskovich elaborated that in a lot of Pat King's videos, when he's engaging with the comments, he's reading some of the comments, and some of the comments are in support, and some of them are quite negative. And the witness, Miss Yareskovich, also noted that the majority of these videos are live stream videos, and in some of these videos, when Mr. King is engaging with a negative comment, he also starts to, he sometimes removes people from the room. So he'll kick them out, ban them from the chat, and so forward, and engage in negative responses that way to kick them out. So there are some negative people, so he's divisive. The judge, I think, made an interesting comment when that discussion was happening. I believe this was during the Crown's chief still, about, how do you know that? Because he said something along the lines of, I'm not really getting that, right? Because he's like, there's a mixed bag here. And so that's when the witness, Miss Yareskovich, he didn't say mixed bag here, but that's kind of what I took from what he was saying, that he's seen different things. And so Miss Yareskovich elaborated, as I explained, about the different comments and such. So then, during defense cross, back again, I know we're hopping along the chronology here of the day 5. Some might call it day 6, but one of the days was adjourned because Miss Calvino wasn't feeling well. So this is the 5th day of actual proceedings. I know some people might count an adjourned day as a day of proceedings, but I'm just going to keep it at 5 for simplicity. 5th full sitting day. During cross-examination, Miss Calvino tendered several Crown videos that we've already seen parts of or transcripts of to the court. Miss Calvino pointed out several transcript portions that the Crown did not include in their because after the earlier comment from the judge in the day, where the judge had said, where is this going to? You're going to need to make an argument, a submission about which piece of evidence goes to which video and so forward. The person backing up here is driving their vehicle rather awkwardly. Start, stop. That makes me nervous. Sorry, just give me a second here. I don't want to get rammed. I might have to get on the horn. They were also at a really bad and awkward angle, so they were coming out. Perhaps it had been easier to go out the other way instead of the way they chose. But start, stop. Oh boy. Getting out to look. You're okay. You got some room, I think. Sorry about that, folks. I just, it's always better to get out and look as a professional driver. We're trained that in driving school. You want to go for a goal instead of being unsafe and going ahead and hitting something. So that's always the better thing to do. So let me just allow this to finish here. I'm sorry, folks. Okay, so we're moving back ahead. So after the judge's original comments that he didn't understand which of the Crown's evidence was going to which of the Crown's charges, the Crown, I think we took, that was before the morning break, we took or the lunch break, maybe, one of the two. And the Crown came back, I think, more focused, and they were focused on very specific parts of transcripts. I don't think we watched another video after that. So they were more focused, in my opinion. So when the defense, but still, they still were picking out sections of either videos or transcripts. When the defense had the opportunity with Ms. Yaroshkovich, they went back to those Crown transcripts in the video. Remember, we had an agreement that they weren't going to watch every single video. We're going to choose transcripts. And the judge already said he's going to watch all the videos and read all the transcripts. So the Crown's just kind of pointing out very specific videos they want to see, or very specific parts of transcripts they want to bring to the judge's attention. They did it even better after the judge's comments about being confused about where things were going. And so the defense came back and they started tendering their transcripts. Ms. Calvino bringing forward transcript portions that she says, shows that Pat King was focused on peace, safety, that he's not engaged as a leader, that he may be taking orders from other people that they suggested of us. And she brought examples to support these arguments in these different sections of transcripts and videos. She also played a couple videos, and she said the reason for playing those videos was because it was important to see what was happening, not just what the transcript is showing in some of these videos, to paint the context and to just show the other side of the picture, because the Crown's painting one picture and she wants to paint another picture to kind of bring things into balance and perspective. Now, the judge made a similar comment as the defense was going, basically, what's the point of this? What does this go to? Because, so the defense is highlighting now, as they move through these different videos, what it goes to, whether it goes to the charges, whether it goes to painting King in a particular way, whether it establishes something like King's repeating pattern of mentioning peace and safety, and so on or so forward, something that they're trying to bring to the attention of the court, to the judge. So every party being more focused now. And I believe that the defense tendered a few different videos and transcripts with Ms. Yaroshkovich, and they said they're now done with the Crown's videos, but they, I believe, intend to bring 10 more videos, which were, the list of those videos were made Exhibit E. I believe they're also going to bring them through Ms. Yaroshkovich, so I think that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow, Wednesday, day 6th. And then again, we're going to continue on Thursday and Friday after tomorrow, Wednesday. So we have 3 more days this week. The Crown said on Friday that they're confident they can rest their case this week, even if things are going slow. So the defense should start their case sometime this week. And we understand that they may be bringing some witnesses. We'll see who they are. And I'll be here to report and keep you up to date on all of that. For more fine details, as always, go to the Twitter thread. Go there anyway. Go to my X, Right Blend. Follow it. Share that thread. Like it. Comment on it. Get it out there, because people need to see it and pay attention. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.